We're moving fish! Boop, boop. Get a couple out of here and get them into the tubs outside. Start seeding the filter. So we've got our first inhabitants floating. So they've come out of 16, 17 degree water inside and they're coming into 26.9 at the moment in here. So they're going to have a nice long float. So they've just come out straight away. Put as much oxygen as I can in the bag. So they'll get a good, well, at least an hour. And I'll check the water temperature. Try and bring them up as slow as possible. But it'll be quite difficult because it is fairly sunny today. But I'm not complaining because that's free heat. A little bit of sneaking out here at night. Just to check everything is running as planned. Fish fine, drum fine, filter fine, all good. Welcome back to Watercoy for another one, and for the one that finally will include fish back in the polytunnel. So we have, as you can see, we've got 5 fish now in this pond. They've been in here for just under a week, helping me get things kick-started. Everything running lovely. I've got the drum sorted and functioning exactly where I want it. Touch wood, all good. We'll go through that at a later date. I didn't want to miss a week of fish, basically. I want to get on with getting the fish out. So today we're going to be moving all of the fish from the IBC grow on into tub number 2. I'm excited, really excited. So let's get on with it. I think hopefully you'll agree with me. This is a bit of a treat in the sense that you see lots of IBC grow-ons, you don't necessarily see the result, and this really is a testament to what you can do with keeping it fairly simple and in a very small space. So let's get on with it. So here we are, mini harvest time. Stupid excited having about this. This is what it's all about for me. Is just seeing the results, and this is probably unless you know, I'll become a millionaire, as close as I'll ever get to seeing something coming out of a mud pond. I've got my own filthy water, and this water, just for everybody, this is how it normally looks. That's why I don't stand here and look at it very often. You see fleeting flashes of a fish occasionally. Throw the food on, obviously they'll come up like piranhas, but that is how it spends most of its time. And I change the water once a week. I've said before, this is obviously a 1,000 litre IBC. This wouldn't have been achievable, I don't think, without the sake, but we will find out, because I'm going to try it without sake, see what happens to the maintenance regime, etc. So that has performed really well. 30 kilos of alpha grog in it, about 3 kilos of Cyperax and a few plastic bioballs and the sieve, and I cannot complain. I wash the sieve out once or twice a day, it takes 30 seconds, whip it out, blast it off, put it back. Much easier maintenance than Easy Pod. We'll talk about that later, but yeah, this is it. So I'll drain this down and we'll start pulling out some of the fish for the grand migration. Excited is not the word. So just in the process of draining it down, just the waiting game, waiting to see what beasts emerge from the deep. Just freshening up some of the water so it's nice and clean. When I get them out in the bowl, we can actually see what we're doing other than the mud. Right, so you can see them sort of bubbling away. They've got some size in some of these, but always at the point where I can do it now, just matching up bowls to temperatures and things, obviously using the water that's out here. We are ready to go. Let's get them out. Oh, excited! And here we are, just a quick reminder of what they look like. I took this video mid-November, I think, not long after I'd put the last few fish in, so I'd gone through the pain of getting the filter sorted out and established so I could start feeding as I wanted to. So yeah, that's what they look like. And now let's move on to actually getting them out and see what they look like now, and how we've managed to get on. so these are the 3 from Manakoi. Move those out first. So you see the growth on them. So these 2 went in late. These have only been in there since, what was it, end of March? They've had 2 months, I think. I have to check the dates, but that one's been in there since the beginning. All done really well, but yeah, look at the gimrin on that. Let's give him a measure up. That is done. That is cracking. And I'm on the guru in his fins still as well. Assume he's got to come through strong. Look at that. That's what it's about. Right, and we've joined the other 2 with him. So we reckon he is over 40 centimetres, just about, smidge over. Almost to 45 to be fair. So these 2 have done pretty well in a short space of time as well. So they were in the cold tub for all the winter. They've had a proper winter. And as I said, I joined about 2 months ago. So we've got some colour work to do now, which will be the next bit we focus on, but yeah, really pleased with the growth. Again, I remind you, in an IBC of 1,000 litres, 19, 20 fish have been in there. Right, let's get them in the tub. Next batch. Right, we're having a guess about how big this one is. Dad's been saying it's 45 centimetres for about, well, it feels like 6 months he's been saying it, but we're somewhere there. I reckon we might be close to 50. That is absolutely huge. Remember how much smaller that one was than this one, and we'll move on to him in a minute, than this one. This one is very slow growing. It's got a lovely pattern on it, but doesn't seem to want to join the party with the rest of them. Look at the Ginrin Achiever as well. Also, the shimmies have gone. If you look back on the first video, there was shimmies all over the towel that had annoyed me. Completely disappeared. And look at the strength of the benny on the head of that. Wicked. Right, let's get them across to the bowl. Oh, actually no, the Afuchi Kajaku has grown massively as well. So yeah, let's get them across the bowl, measure them up. Right, so we've measured them. So I suppose technically he was right. It's 46 centimetres the Benigoi. Really put on some size, absolutely huge. I think that was the one that we picked up with the lice on it when we quarantined it, if you remember, back after one of the shows last year. And then the Afuchi Kajaku was 35 centimetres, so done really well because he was one of the smaller ones that went in. So yeah, pretty chuffed with that, pretty chuffed. Fantastic, really good. Right, let's get them across. I want to get them in as soon as possible, so I'm going to move on to the next lot. So this is the Cuttlebrook show, which is actually older, hasn't grown the same as the others, just a slower grow, but still doing pretty darn well. Pattern's looking good as well. The Benny's definitely come up a bit since it's been in there, so we'll talk about the UV light at a later stage, but pretty pleased with that. Right, let's get him in, back in. It's between 35 and 40 centimetres this one. He's a jumper, this one, so I'm a bit nervous about leaving him too long. So we got the Ginrin Achiever Afuchi again, from the Koi show last year, the Detling one in Kent. I think he was 16 or 17 centimetres when we got him in. He's now at 37 centimetres, and more importantly, he's developing quite a nice structure. He's got nice thick shoulders, nice big head, and the benny on him is just quality as well. All the shimmy's gone. Look at the scalation on that as well. Absolutely insane. Proper. I mean, this, and again, this was Tosai out of the 3 for 90 quid tub, so wasn't no select grade or anything. It just shows you can pick some bargains out. It's got a funny pigment there on the front of his head, which he's always had. Not too sure if that's scarring or if it disappeared, but we'll see. But other than that, he's doing absolutely cracking. Right, let's get him in. Look at those scales. Insane. How exciting is that for a bowl of homegrown Shiros? Look at that. Look at the pattern on its head. How much it's grown. That's the one that went in, and I'll try and dig out the videos to put up what they were to what they are. That went in again as one of the smaller of the lot. Went in with the Deutz Kahaku. That's the one that was all white when I bought it has developed a load of secondary benny, which is a shame because the pattern of the sumi and it's lovely and the fish shape, etc. I'm keeping it. I want to see what it does. That's the only way I'm going to learn is keeping stuff like that. So I want to see how the benny ends up. And then we've got the Ifuchi Ginrin, which again was one of the smaller ones that picked up at the show. Same with the Kajaku and the Achiba. But yeah, look at the size of them. Absolutely huge. So I'm going to guess at the body shape of this one, it's probably female. It's 38 centimetres. So that's put on some lot of size. Again, it's not just the length of it, the depth of it and the size of it. The sumi's looking really good considering it's in heat as well. See, heat does make it look a little bit washed out sometimes, but it's got a strong Montagura in the fin, so I don't expect that to get better as it gets older. And to be fair, even though it's stressed, Sarodi has not gone awful. A little bit pink around the top. Really good. Right, let's get that one moved across. Right, so here's the other Ogata one that developed all the secondary benny. You can see how much secondary benny it got for its entire body. So pretty much useless to everyone. Body shape's nice. It's got up to 35 centimetres. The sumi pattern's lovely. It's just a shame it's got all that bill on it, but we're going to see what happens to it. Body shape's all fine, there's no deformities or anything, which is good. Yeah, right, let's get him in. Right, so the Ifuchi has got itself up to 31 centimetres by the look of it. It's done well, I guess. Smaller one, not as grown as much as some of the others, but it's still done really well. It started quite slow, I'm not sure if it was feeding as ferociously as the rest, but good Montagura on the left fin. See what happens on the right hand side. Some more sumi has started to develop around the back. Now this one, whilst it's grown really well, when I'm inspecting them, I've noticed we've got a deformity. I'm not sure how well you pick it up on the camera. If you see here, it's all puckered. It's got a dent in its head, and its head's slightly off centre, which is really annoying, but it just shows you how some of them slip the net. Don't remember seeing that when it was smaller. It happens as it's grown. That's a real shame because its pattern is really, really nice. So obviously that's not going to be of much use to me, especially with the Shiros, because I was hoping to do a first spawn out of Shiros with the ones that I've got, and I've got some more on the Sarkos on their way, so he will now be no use to me. So nice fish, looks nice. You can't really see when it's in a pond, but obviously as you get up close, nasty dent in it. But yeah, annoying, but that's the hobby for you. So here we've got a bowl of oi koi ones that we bought last year that have done really well. This one is actually my dad's birthday fish for last year that we've been growing on from a very small tosai. Some of these were really dinky. Those who don't know, oi koi get his fish from Koi Wholesale. A little bit more expensive than some places, but quality has been pretty good. We've got certificates for this one, this Kahaku, and this one. I think no, don't have a certificate this one, lost that one. I've got the other four. But yeah, they've all done super well, so there's his nice Ginrin Kahaku, I think it's from Koda, that one. Lovely. Right, let's get them bowled up. This one I'm using just to check them all over for deformities, any problems, which again, I've only had one so far, which is deformity you can't help. But otherwise, fish health is fantastic. And then I'll put them in the other one to measure them before getting them in the tub, so let's crack on. Right, so here he is, defect free, nice and straight, lovely, and he's at 40 centimetres. So, and this one actually, when he first went into the blue tub, struggled to compete with the bigger fish, so he didn't get any of the initial stuff inside either. So yeah, doing really well, nice pattern on them. Ginrin's lovely as well. Again, none of them are looking ridiculously stressed either with being bowled up. Sarodi's staying pretty good. Well, he's gone a little bit pink, but nothing major, so good. Right, let's get him in, get the next one. So these two again, out of the bowl, the oi koi lot. So we've got the Tancho Sankey and we've got the Benny Kumrinyu. The Tancho Sankey we'll start with, because he's only been in this tub 2 months, and he must be one of these fish that's just got good genetics, because he has grown a lot in that time. So he's had, you know, a quarter of the time that the other fish have had in there, and he has gone by storm. He's hit 36 centimetres, but he's also developing a real chunky body. The only thing I'm not concerned about, but interested to see what happens, is the Montagura in his fin. Although it's strong, it doesn't touch the base. So I'm wondering how good the Sumi's going to come up and finish developing, but he's done a lot of development since we got him. Again, I'll flag up the videos. Not a perfect tancho spot, it does go slightly over the headline, it's got some rough edges, but looks lovely to me, to be fair, don't really care. And then the Benicom Renew was the smallest one in there, and he's hit 31 centimetres. He was really, 12 centimetres I think when he came in. I actually undermined about getting him because I thought he'd be too small to compete, but he has started to catch up lately, so be intrigued to see what he does. He hasn't gone completely black yet. My last attempts at these all went black fairly quickly, so we'll see what happens. Right, let's get him in. So this one's another one that only joined the party fairly late. Nice Tancho Ginrin Gashiki. But he's done, again, pretty well in the limited time he's had in there, so let's see what he does in the next stage of his development. He's another one that's hit 31 centimetres. Got a nice wide body on him at the top as well, so see what he does. Now they've all got a bit more room and a better filtered water, etc. Take them on to the next part, which we get them through in this eye. So this one is my dad's birthday one. We were just arguing actually about how much it's cost, because I was trying to take some electric and food costs out of it, but he's having none of it. So this one was again quite small and picked it up from Koi. Top of my head I want to say it was about 14 centimetres. Now got it to 37 centimetres. And actually this one was really suffering Benny wise in the garage with no natural light at all. And although it's still not perfect, it has intensified as it's grown under that light that we've had on there. So they've not had any colour food since the 10th of April. Sorry, no, they haven't had that light since the 10th of April, and the food even before that at the start of February, because I couldn't get the colour stuff mixed in with the pellets without fouling the water too quick. So all in all, they're not looking too shabby. But yeah, that's lovely. Look at that for a shower. Ginrin as well. Told him he'd have it 40 centimetres by his next birthday. It's already there. 3 off. 3 off. And to the last bowl that we're going to be pulling out of the IBC. That's all 19 of them. Have moved a couple on. People were interested in one of them, so I let them go to try and help me support the rest of the tunnel build. So this bowl, really interesting. And for anyone who says English bred fish are shit, have a look at that. That is a Cuttlebrook Sakai fish farm bloodline Sankey. It has got a body on it. That's going to be an absolutely stunning fish once we get the colour up and sorted out, which we'll be doing next. Look how much it's grown. Absolutely amazing. The other 3 in here are all Japs from exclusively Koi. This one just from Cuttlebrook. So that was a Shinoda Doitsu Kahaku. Can't remember the farm of these two, but it's a Ginrin Showa and a Doitsu Sankey that I picked up last year. He's only had 2 months in there, actually picked up pretty well. And this again was one of the, if not the smallest, at around 11-12 centimetres I think, when we picked him up. He's really caught up recently. And that Doitsu Kahaku as well, looking absolutely fab. Right, give me a quick check over and then we get him into the measuring bowl. Right, so this is a little bit special, this one I think. This is the Cuttlebrook one that we were just talking about, for the Sakai bloodline, Sankey. He was 25 centimetres when he went in here, so he was one of the bigger ones. Paid 125 for a minute? 125 pound for him. English bred, like I said, from the Sakai bloodline. And he's now 41 centimetres. But not only is he 41 centimetres, he has put some frame on. The structure of his body is ginormous. Really imposing. I don't know if it's coming across on camera, but yeah, really, really nice fish. Like I said, we're going to do a bit of focusing on colour for a little while to bring their colours back up. Now we're back in full UV, proper water, and all the rest of it. But yeah, really impressive. So don't be put off English bred fish. No need to be put off. Lovely. Right, let me move on to one of my favourite ones. So this is the Shinoda Doitsu Kahaku I got from exclusively Koi. Got him quite small. Paid a bit more for him. It cost me 145. But it's one of them. I had my link go for it. I went to pick up one of Dad's little Ginrin Showas, and I see it and I was like, I've got to have that. And that's when at the same time I got the Omasako Shiro as well. So That's done really well. It's hit 36 centimetres, it's developing quite a nice body on it, and again it's quite stressed at the minute, and again Saroji's looking pretty neat. The skin quality on it is nuts, and with no food, no colour work for a long time either, so hopefully we can pick that up and get the real intense Benny back on it and be laughing. Being Deutz, obviously it should in theory be smaller, but it's tracking well at the minute, so we'll see how it goes. Right, let me get it in the net and get it into the tub. Right, and the last two of it, the measuring bowl. So here we've got two that went in at 12 centimetres. Not really direct comparisons because he's only been in 2 months. As I said, he's caught up really well in that time. And then this one joined actually quite a lot bigger fish and struggled to establish himself to begin with, but has shown good progression over the last 2 months as well, catching up. So he's hit 30 centimetres, he's hit 29. Lovely pattern on that one. As this one grows, the Saroji should separate between the two Kahaku downs, which would be nice, and if we can sharpen the Sumi up as well. Again, the Montaguru is pretty good in the fin, so we'll see. But yeah, doing really well, really well. So that's the last two out of the 1,000 litre IBC. Let's pop them into the pond, and then I'll show you the pond, and I'll show you my recent faux pas as well, because I've always managed to forget doing something. Right, so the next bit I've got to do, bear in mind I've just stuck 19 fish in a very new system, so I only have 5 fish in for a week with a little bit of bacteria. I am taking out Alpha Grog from this. I shall replace it with new stuff, ready for the next thing, which we'll talk about later. Literally pulling it out, I'm going to do a couple of buckets and then replace it all. So I've got nice mature Alpha Grog with plenty of surface area ready to tackle what these fish are about to throw in it. So let me go chuck that in. But this is obviously what you want. If you've got another system that's clean, you've got no issues with it, you can steal the bacteria, seed it, and you can cut out a lot of that initial new pond syndrome. We'll talk about something stupid I've done in a minute, but you'll be able to see it before I tell you anyway. So, but yeah, right, I'll snap back in a second. That's another thing I thought quickly before I chuck this one in, it's the second bucket. So this is Alpha Grog that has been used for 6 months on a very intense feeding regime in a small system with just a sieve that relies on me cleaning it out. Whilst that has worked very well, you still get obviously a lot of crap through if it sits on there. This stuff has not got any clogging of any sort. So 6 months use, no deterioration, no clogging. It's worked a dream as far as I'm concerned. Right, let me throw it in. So these aren't actually in scope to be moved yet, but this Ginrin Kahaku here is my little girl, so she's begged me to move it. So he's going over with a moving buddy today. In the spirit of the All Japan Yonkoi show, we're judging him in the bag. Yeah, I don't know how that works, to be honest. There you go. Alright, there we go. Empty. Cut the part work off the back, undone the union. Got the heater up, because I have had a heater problem. The inline heater stopped working about a month and a half ago. Don't know why, so I've got to take it apart, try and fix it, because I need it back in action soon. If not, I need to send it back because it's still on warranty. So I was using a fish tank heater to finish the job, which cost me more to run at 500 watt heater than it did a 2 kilowatt inline. Anyway, story for another day. This will be back in action very soon. Watch this space. So, flicking to what is a fully inhabited system, we have our 19 IBC grow-ons in here, and then we've got 7 from indoors out here. Something really interesting I want to talk about. Now, the eagle-eyed among you would be like, Dave, that water's trash, it's green. And it is, it's green, because old soppy bollocks over here left it running, didn't plug the ozone UV back in, so it was running for a week without any UV intervention, so the water has gone really green. Turned it back on yesterday. It has started pulling it back, but it's going to take a little while to clear it, and you can hear the drum is going absolutely mental, probably about every 7 minutes at the moment, trying to get some of the algae out of the water. but we'll get on top of it. It's my fault. So we've got good movement as well now. I've got the air lines in, and we've got good filtration along with the UV being on. So little tip for you. The one thing I do want to talk about when we look at this green water is what I've actually seen. Now, excuse the noise of the drum, it'll turn off in a second. This Achiba has been in here a week. Within 2 days of it coming into this green water, its Benny had improved. Then the only two things that have changed are the fact that it's now got access to a lot more natural daylight, including the UV spectrum, and the green water. Now, I've read loads of stuff before about, you know, green water, how good it is. Obviously the Japanese talk about it a lot. Actually, some parts of Thailand, part of the hobby is just cultivating green water for sort of 9 months of the year to keep them in, because it enhances their colours. Obviously, for viewing purposes, as you can see, unless they come right to the surface, and there's my big Saragoy, it doesn't really do much for us. But in terms of the colour, that was an instant gratification. So my little girl's just feeding the Saragoy with her fingers. It's big, that Saragoy. 50 centimetres, that's it. That turns Nisai this summer. We'll see how she does this year, see how big we get her. And that Achiba, I think, is going to catch up. But yeah, I just wanted to make the point about the green water. My green water won't last for long, because the UV and the ozone is now switched on again, and we'll start destroying it and we'll be stripping out the water. Although, I don't know how much of our work it's going to get, considering I have an absolute deluge of daylight for about 12 hours a day. 10 to 12 hours a day I get sunlight, as soon as the sun rises, till about 4 in the afternoon, maybe a little bit more than that. So yeah, 10 odd hours, which obviously is pretty intense, and it's full sunlight as well, which is good because I get free heat in here. But yeah, there we go. So, I hope you've enjoyed that. Been a long day. Very, very happy, very, very pleased with what we've got, what we've achieved. How these guys have come on. See, they're all settling into their new home, so I'll show them all swimming around freely in the next few weeks once they've settled in. But yeah, very, very happy, and just goes to show what you can do with the right stuff, you know, just to emphasise, keep it simple. That's an IBC, it's 1,000 litres, it had a pump on it, it had a good biological filter with a small sieve, heater, and most importantly, good food. And we've achieved something pretty impressive, I think. So, as I said, that will be back in action soon. We'll cover that next week when I'm prepping that. As I said, I've already stripped the heater off and all the rest of it, so we'll cover that next time. But yeah, for now, please give us a like, guys. Please give us a subscribe, help the channel grow. And thanks again for all your support. And we will catch you next time.